The Breakfast Club. It's time to wake the f*** up.
Hey,
What happened to Good Morning USA?
guys, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us? Good Morning USA! Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning, Charlamagne. Peace
Hello?
to the world.
Hey, can you hear
Good
me?
morning, DJ Envy.
Hey,
Good morning,
can we start
Toronto.
that over? Can we start that over?
No, it's done.
No, do it
The
again.
moment's gone.
All right, here we go. Good morning, USA.
Hey, fam.
We ain't got Charlamagne?
I don't know what's wrong with y'all, okay? You guys
All
gotta
right.
get it together.
Well, it's Friday. All right.
You didn't say good morning, Toronto.
I'm about to. You said it, though. But good morning, Toronto. Now, I'm
Now,
not
Envy,
going to
you
front.
can't ask for a do-over and then only do certain parts over.
Because there was nobody else with me, just me and you. You know, I'm not even going to front. Shout to all the teachers out there. We appreciate you. But you can't give these kids homework like this. Because you and I both know when you give them classwork and you give them homework, the parents got to do it. And I don't have no problem.
Hold on now. You should not be doing your kids' homework.
I'm not doing the kids' homework. I didn't say that. All I'm saying is it's a lot. So, you know, I got 5 kids. I got one in college, one in high school. Those 2 are on their own. They got to figure it out. But the 7-year-old, the 6-year-old, and the 4-year-old, yo, this is difficult. So, you know, of course, they go to a new school. And my nanny, I had my nanny for like 6-7 years. She went back to her country, Ecuador. So, you know, me and my wife, we're doing everything. Cooking, cleaning, everything. Until we find a new nanny. So I have to get up extra early.
It sounds like rich people problems, Envy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it might be, but this is difficult because I ain't used to this. So I have to get up early, an hour early to cook breakfast. So you know we're on air at 6, so I'm up at like 4:45 cooking breakfast. And then my son told me he didn't do his homework. So I was like, all right, we'll knock it out. No, there is no knocking it out. This is a long homework. We've been doing homework since 4:45 to just right now when I had to click in. Like,
But nobody told y'all to have 5 kids.
I didn't think the school was gonna be like this. I didn't think it was gonna be virtually. You know, I thought we'd have some help.
My goddaughter was at my house yesterday, and she told me that she's in college now. She's in her 2nd year. She told me that they're giving her like 6 hours in one class, 6 hours of homework.
That's too much. That is look. See, you see all this? You see all this? You see, I had to help him cut all these things. Oh shoot, I just dropped one. Damn it. But anyway, yeah, I had to do all of that. Like, this is a lot of work. Like, this virtual learning is no joke. We got to figure it out. I don't know what we have to do. Oh, I understand the kids got to learn, but we got to figure it out. And if you're a parent out there, you probably feel my pain.
Imagine all the parents without nannies.
Well, that's me right now. I don't have a nanny. That is me. And then Gia has to drive them to school, which is a 30-minute drive. Oh,
I want to sympathize, man, but
and then my kids are they get bougie on me. So I try to make them Fruit Loops.
I wonder where they got it from.
You're right. I said, look, we just gonna make Fruit Loops and milk. My daughter was like, I want bacon. I'm like, Dad's not cooking bacon right now. You're gonna have Fruit Loops and milk. I want bacon. Irma cooks me bacon. I'm like, well, Irma, she's not here anymore. So you have to realize that. You just have to eat. You have to eat this little bar and this Pediasure, and we got to go to school. Oh, all right. Well, that's my problem. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But, yes.
Today is the 19-year anniversary of when 9/11 happened too. I just want to also show our respects this morning as well, first and foremost.
Yeah.
19 years.
Where's Charlamagne? Does anybody know?
No idea.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get the show cracking. Front page news, what we talking about?
Well, man, what do you think? If you had to guess, what are we talking about this morning?
I don't know. I've been doing homework. Are we talking about teachers and homework? What are we talking about?
Well, we are, of course, going to talk about Donald Trump. But then I want to talk about this store that is closing, and this has me really upset.
Must be Barney's, Bloomingdale, Saks Fifth Avenue, Neiman Marcus, or Bergdorf. One of those. But we'll talk about it when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Where we starting, Yee?
Well, I just want to tell you were wrong when you said that I said I was disappointed about a store closing and you thought it would be Barney's, Bergdorf, Saks. It's actually Century 21.
Oh, that's another one. That was a good one. I used to be able to get all the kids' clothes from there for a great price. What was our homegirl that used to work there?
Heather. I used to get my own clothes
What's up, Heather?
from there.
Damn.
Price.
Yeah, that used to be a come up store. Damn. Century
Remember,
21.
that's where Envy went to go see Heather and buy some white jeans.
No, that was Charlamagne that went to buy the white jeans, but go ahead.
Oh. Well, they are going to be closing all stores after filing for bankruptcy. So I was really upset about that. I was just in Century 21 last weekend. So who knew that was coming?
I mean, a lot of stores are closing because of this COVID thing, and the government got to bail them out. Like, these stores are closing. These stores have been around for years, decades, and people can't get out and shop. People don't have money. You got to help people out.
I know, man. That's tough. All right. Now let's flash back to the audio that we played yesterday. This was Donald Trump at a press conference talking about the comments that he made to Bob Woodward when he was being interviewed 18 times. He got interviewed for this book, and it's called Rage. It comes out on Tuesday, and here he is saying that he did downplay coronavirus.
I wanted to always play it down. I still like playing it down.
Yes, sir.
Because I don't want to create a panic. It's a very tricky situation. It goes through air, Bob. That's always tougher than the touch. The touch, you don't have to touch things, right? But the air, you just breathe the air. That's how it's passed. And so that's a very tricky one. That's a very delicate one. It's also more deadly than your strenuous flus.
Yeah, and I don't know why he would downplay that. I still don't get it. Like, you tell people the truth so they can prepare. You don't lie for them and they don't know what's going on and they get sick and die. You tell them the truth.
Did you say he was lying? Because yesterday he denied that.
Why did you lie to the American people, and why should we trust what you have to say now?
That's a terrible question, and the phraseology, I didn't lie. What I said is we have to be calm, we can't be panicked. Of course I didn't. Of course I didn't.
Was deadlier than the flu, and then you went out and told the American public that this was just like the flu.
What I went out and said was very simple. Listen, I want to show a level of confidence. There was no lie here. You have to remember, I put the ban on China. So obviously, outwardly, I said it's a very serious problem. That doesn't mean I'm going to jump up and down in the air and start saying people are going to die.
Yeah, he's a liar. He's a politician. He just says what he wants. He says what he says what he can remember. I'm starting to think that some of these guys are so old they don't even remember what they say. Like,
he
no, I
knows
didn't
what he
say
said.
that.
He played it for you.
That's crazy.
All right, now he also tweeted out Bob Woodward had my quotes for months. If he thought they were so bad or dangerous, why didn't he immediately report them in an effort to save lives? Didn't he have an obligation to do so? No, because he knew they were good and proper answers. Calm, no panic. How was he going to save lives? Because he admitted downplaying it after he downplayed it. So it's kind of over. Now, another audio clip that they played was him denying white privilege.
Do you have any sense that privilege has isolated and put you in a cave to a certain extent, as it put me and I think lots of white privileged people in a cave, and that we have to work our way out of it to understand the anger and the pain particularly black people feel in this country.
Yes.
You really drank the Kool-Aid, didn't you? Listen to you. Wow. No, I don't feel that at all.
Charlamagne, you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
We just played the Donald Trump saying that you drank the Kool-Aid.
All right.
Yeah, it was stupid.
In the next hour, we'll get back into all of that. And we'll also talk about football because football is back.
Yeah.
And that is your front page news.
All right. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you're upset, you need to vent, hit us up right now. You know where I'm at. Teachers, I love you and I appreciate the job that you're doing, but you're sending home too much homework. Like, it's a lot of schoolwork and homework, and especially with virtually learning. I've been doing it all morning long. I've been up since about 4:45, 4:30 doing homework, and this is crazy. All right?
It's only been 2 days. I ain't seen neither one of my daughters bring no homework yet.
Well, my kids need to go to that school because they've been having homework. Remember, my kids started last week. But this is a lot, bro.
Oh, yeah.
This is a lot. Like, a lot. But anyway, get it off your chest. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
This is Trev from Jamaica, Queens, living in Jacksonville, Florida.
Hey, Queens, get the money. What's going on, brother? Get it off your chest.
Not much. I want to say I'm black, blessed, and highly favored. I want to give shout out to all my peoples. I want to give shout out to all my peoples. I want to give a shout out to a special lady in the Bronx. Her name is Marie. I hope she have a wonderful and blessed day at work.
Ooh,
All right,
okay,
brother.
special lady.
Nice. That's
nice.
Thank you, brother. Hello, who's this?
This is Patrick.
Hey, what's up? Get it off your chest.
How you doing? Patrick from Miami. Shout out 305.
What's up, Miami? Florida's on the check-in.
I miss Miami.
Yeah, but I mean, you can post all these videos on Trump about him just being honest, his true racist self, but you still have his mindless zombies that's gonna follow him, even when it's
That's a fact.
That's a fact. I feel like that's part of white privilege too, because when you do try to talk to them, they act like they don't know. You know.
They deny it.
They know what's going on.
And they're not all white. There's some black people too that are in denial.
Oh yes, there are some lost black people. I have a word for them, but I do not want to say that on the radio. But you know, they live in the house. Okay, but
Are you saying they're house Negroes?
That's what he's saying.
Yes, and actually, I live in Miami, so you have a lot of confused Hispanics down here.
Yeah.
Because they look white, they feel like they are white. You know, and
our board op is like that.
Stupid.
Don't say that.
You know? But the thing is this, all my Black Lives Matter people, all these people that are fighting for justice, I need all you guys to go to the polls. You all need to go.
I agree. Everybody got to vote.
By the way,
can't let this happen again.
Yeah, what you're saying is true. That's the only way you're going to beat this person, because you can't shame the shameless. And it's funny to me how the media continuously tries to shame the shameless. You can't shame Donald Trump. It don't even matter. You can play all those clips and do whatever you want. You can't shame the shameless. You got to go to the polls if you want this guy up.
Just remember, he said that he could go out to Times Square and shoot somebody and nobody would do anything. And that's literally what he's been doing his whole presidency. Shooting us in the face and nobody says a word.
Well, I was in Times Square yesterday. I think he could definitely get away with that now. Times Square is a mess.
Yeah. Well, all right. Stay blessed.
You too.
All right, brother. Have a good one. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Hello, who's this?
Good morning, guys. This is Sandra, the Haitian therapist again.
Hey,
Sandra.
Hey.
Hey, I just wanted to get off my chest that I'm just so proud of Black men who go to therapy. It warms my heart every time I have a Black male client. It's just so amazing that they're taking that step. I think we should definitely normalize that more.
Definitely.
And I did have a question for Charlamagne. I did want to know how to be on the Black Effect Network as a guest co-host, talk about mental health, or just as a guest, period.
Oh, we can make that happen. I have a couple of mental health mindfulness podcasts that I partnered with. My girl Debbie Brown with the Dropping Gems podcast, and Michelle Williams has the Checking In podcast.
Yes, absolutely. I would definitely love to give my, 2 cents, 4 cents, 16 cents on mental health and what I've observed.
Leave your info with our producer, Daniel. We definitely need as many mental health experts checking in with us as possible.
Yeah, sure. I would love that. Thank you guys so much.
Have a good one, Mama.
Absolutely. Therapy is very important. I got therapy today.
All right. Hello, who's this?
Yo, what's up, Evie?
What's up, Trav?
Where you at?
Hey, Trav.
Hey, boo. What's up with you?
Hey, Pumpkin.
Yeah, what's up, Sean?
What's up, Pumpkin?
Don't steal our nickname.
Hey, sis. How are you? Pumpkin is so cute to call, man. Hey, Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Around Halloween, I said, hey, Jack-o'-lantern.
Listen, Yee, first of all, congratulations to all my girls. y'all Gracie Award that y'all
Oh,
won.
yes. Thank you. The Gracie Awards were last night. That was a big deal. So I appreciate that. Thank you. And I got an Air Blazer award, too.
Congratulations.
Okay, look
Congrats.
at blazing stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
Charlamagne, congratulations on an order for you too on your Black Effect Podcast Network. Check you out, dropping the clues bombs for yourselves.
Thank you. You're not gonna tell me thank you for affecting stuff? Well, look at you for affecting stuff.
Look at you affecting stuff out here.
Thank you.
And then Envy, congratulations to you on your summit that you have coming up. Out here talking about mental health and police, what you can do for police brutality and all the other type of stuff that's coming up for summit. We vote, I think, right?
Oh, yep. That was with Dave Mays. Dave Mays is doing something. He got me involved with that. Shout out to Dave Mays.
That's what's up.
All right, hold on. And Trav, congratulations to you.
What I do?
I don't know.
Yo, listen, Yee. I just want to say to you, I was listening to Lip Service, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to say his name because, he already getting attacked out here for being Paw Patrol and touching dogs and stuff. But there's a whole liar out here in these streets. A whole liar out here lying on Angela Yee for absolutely no reason. And
I didn't understand that.
Who lied on Yee? Did I miss this?
Somebody who just lied for no reason. Like this already bad being a liar, but being a liar for no reason out here just lying on Yee. You bald-headed a liar. Something's wrong.
What are we missing? Or tell us that you fill us in behind the scenes or on. You gonna fill us in behind the scenes or what?
Yeah.
Well, no, it was on the podcast. It was on Lip Service. We were talking about it. For some reason. Okay.
Well, tell us if it was on the podcast. Who was it?
Let's do it anyway. Joe Budden, you bald-headed liar.
What did he say? Did I miss this? Can somebody tell me what's going on now?
No, in a room full of people, he told people that I'm addicted to Adderall and that I pop Adderall all the time. And I was
you pop Adderall?
I've never taken Adderall in my life. And he told L'Oreal that, but there was a whole lot of people in the room. And she was like, Angela's never taken Adderall. And he was like, no, she takes it. I know for a fact. And she kept trying to explain, no, that's not true. I'm with her all the time. And he was telling everybody. I don't know why he said that. I've never used Adderall in my life. I would tell y'all, I don't have a problem.
Well, what is Adderall? I don't know what Adderall is. What does it do?
That's what they use if you have like ADD, and a lot of times people like pop that so they could stay awake. People use it to lose weight, but it's a prescription medication.
Oh, you don't use it, right?
No,
where would you get that from?
I would hope a doctor if they prescribe it to you.
I meant hit the lie. I meant the lie. Now I don't know. He didn't get the doctor.
Oh.
The lie from the doctor.
Where does one get Adderall from?
Goodness gracious! All right. 800-585-1051. Get it off your chest now. We got rumors on the way, Yee?
Yes, Killer Mike. People were upset with him yesterday, and he explains why he did what he did.
All right, we'll get into that next. Keep it locked. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk the Jets. You heard of them? Football team? Yeah, the Jets.
All right, be clear. This is Envy's team.
That's not my team. I'm a Giants fan, but continue.
Liar.
Didn't your neighbor play for the Jets and you all was hanging out and you was going to the Jets games?
Scott Bart, yes. Bart Scott, yes. And Michael Vick played for the Jets for a little bit too, right?
Okay, so you are a Jets fan.
No, he didn't. No, I'm not. But I support my friends. And Bart Scott was lived in the neighborhood, and my wife was hanging out with his wife, so we went to support. But I am a Giants fan. Everybody knows I'm a Giants fan.
And Envy trying to distance himself from this guy because he was in on this scheme.
Go ahead, you go. What scheme?
And be like, please don't tell on me. So Josh Bellamy has been charged for his role in a $24 million pandemic loan scheme. Those PPP loans, baby. So according to the complaint, they're saying that the scheme involved at least 90 fraudulent applications for PPP, most of which were submitted were worth more than, everything was worth more than $24 million. And a lot of those got approved and funded. So they paid out at least $17.4 million. And they said he has his own company, Drip Entertainment, LLC, where he got a PPP loan. It does. for $1.24 million. And he also purchased more than $100,000 in luxury goods. He got some Dior, some Gucci. He spent some money at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. And he withdrew over $300,000.
Well, he won't be the only one going to jail for those PPP loans. Trust me, it's a bunch of y'all right now sitting around thinking you got a blessing from God, but y'all forgot the devil got a kingdom too. And I promise you, just like most drug dealers, you better live it up now. Ball because you're about to fall. And also, if you're going to get that type of money, at least buy something that might appreciate with value.
No.
Like, God damn.
Don't do that either.
Buy something you can flip.
I heard somebody say,
you can't buy a house
and buy real estate. You cannot buy real estate. I heard T.I. say that yesterday. All right, I'm telling you guys.
I ain't saying real estate, but
no,
buy
T.I.
something.
did yesterday. T.I. said something about buying property. You cannot buy property, okay? Read the guidelines, please, because you will get arrested. Yes, I know that.
It's supposed to be for your business.
It's supposed to be for your business. You cannot flip it. You cannot say, yo, I'm going to flip it and then put it back. No.
What if,
they watch
what if
where that
balling
money
is my
goes.
business? What if stunting on these because it's my business?
Bro.
And you got a
make it
PPP
my
loan.
business.
I'm telling
So
people
if
out
that's
there,
your-
you cannot.
If that's your business and you got a PPP loan for that particular business, then yes.
Yes.
Also,
if
these PPP loans can't be as hard as to get as some people make them out to be. Because damn, I heard folks complaining about not being able to get loans, but I can't tell.
Bro, they getting millions. Like, not even like, okay, there's 100,000. No, they getting 17 million. This business wasn't even active. Are they checking? Goodness gracious.
All right. Now, the NBA is supposedly investigating a Rockets player, Daniel House Jr. They said he let a female COVID-19 testing official into his hotel room inside of the bubble. So he's the NBA players, as you know, they've been isolated in a bubble to prevent the spread of coronavirus.
I didn't see the problem with that. She is in the bubble. She's testing everybody, right? So if she's in the bubble, he stayed by the guidelines.
There's no woman safer to sleep with in a situation like that than the woman that does the coronavirus testing. Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, I don't know. So you can't hook up with anybody in the bubble? I don't know.
In the bubble. I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah, that means you got tested.
Yeah, she got tested. She's there every day. I didn't see a problem with that one.
When you get in trouble in the bubble, do people say, your bubble got burst? Come on, give me a little rim shot.
What?
What?
What do you want, a rim what?
What is a rim shot?
Rim shot, man. The drum.
Shot?
Oh, God. Okay.
Oh, wow. You kinky, boy. You kinky.
Sounds like some trouble in your bubble that you want burst.
Yeah, some trouble in your bubble.
All right, Tia Murray says that she will never forget being denied a magazine cover. And this was at a time when their show, Sister Sister, was better in the ratings than Friends. Listen to what she said.
It was around Sister Sister days, and the show was extremely popular. We were beating, like in the ratings, Friends around that time. So my sister and I, we wanted to be on the cover of this very popular magazine at the time, and it was a teenage magazine. And we were told that we couldn't be on the cover of the magazine because we were black and we would not sell.
What year was that?
I don't know. She didn't say the year, but you know, I guess you have to think about the time frame.
Mm-hmm.
But think about that. If black people don't sell, if they're on the cover of a magazine, the magazine won't sell, and they tell you that's the reason you didn't get the cover.
That was a lot of people's mind frame. I mean, even with movies, they wouldn't put black people in blockbuster movies because they said black people didn't sell internationally. Not all black.
Remember, that's why Kevin Hart says he'll only do a movie if it's going to be internationally released.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
All right, well, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your Rumor Report.
All right, thank you, Miss Yee. Now we got front page news coming up. What are we talking about?
Yeah, since we just talked about sports, let's talk about sports. We'll give you some updates, and then we'll talk about football, because football returned last night.
All right, we'll get into that next. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Pardon me, I've been acting a little
in a little bit, but morning, everybody.
The creator of the greatest show of all time, Girlfriends, will be here. You should put some respect on her goddamn name, Envy.
Yes, you could actually watch.
I didn't get a chance to finish.
Yes.
Say what I was saying.
You can watch on Netflix now.
Yes, Girlfriends is on Netflix right now.
8 seasons, right?
Yeah, show us your DVDs. Come on, show us your DVDs. Okay, you know you want to show it to us. Come on, let's see. Here you go. I know you got it there, right there.
Hold on now.
You walk around like that DVD, like my daughter walks around with a blinky.
So I can get rid of all of these. This is the complete season. not even open. Okay, keep that fresh. These are just these are the rest of the seasons, you know what I'm saying? Girlfriends, one of the greatest shows of all time.
All right.
Heard me? Yes.
All right, well, let's get into some front page news. Where we starting, Easy?
Well, since the gang's all here, let's talk about NBA scores from last night. The Lakers beat the Rockets 110-100. The Nuggets versus the Clippers is today. So that is going to be game 5, and the Clippers are leading that 3-1.
Yeah, and last night football came back. The Chiefs beat the Texans 34-20.
Yeah, ain't no social distancing going on that football field, by the way. I turned that game on last night, and everybody standing close to each other on the sidelines. It wasn't really a lot of people in the stands, but ain't no social distancing going on in an NFL game.
But didn't they all get tested?
Yeah, they all get tested. But, the fans are there, and that I like to see the fans there. Even though the stadium wasn't packed, it's just good to see the fans there. They're cheering. It was pretty dope.
Yeah, it could only be
right
22%.
If all them football players and all them coaches got tested and they all negative, Corona ain't real, bro. Just want to throw that out there. Ain't no way.
All right, and tonight the Celtics versus the Raptors, and that series is tied 3-3, so it's game 7.
Yeah, that's going to be a great game.
All right, so what happened with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Houston Texans? Well, during the national anthem, the Texans opted to stay in the locker room, and the Chiefs did link arms for the national anthem. Chloe and Haley performed the rendition of the national anthem, and they honored George Floyd and Breonna Taylor on their shirts. Also, Miami, when they're going to be playing, they actually released this video about ending police brutality and justice. Listen to this.
If we could just right our wrongs, we wouldn't need 2 songs. We don't need another publicity parade. So we'll just stay inside until it's time to play the game.
Whatever happened to the funds that were promised? All of a sudden, we got a glass pocket?
The bottom line should not be the net profit. You can't open your heart when it's controlled by your wallet.
Decals and patches.
Fireworks and trumpets.
We're not puppets.
Don't publicize false budgets. Ask the pundits, and we shouldn't have a say.
If you speak up for change, then I shut up and play.
Yeah, I love the message of that, but the bars were kind of weak. I thought they were about to say 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. Like,
shut up, man.
Hey, stop it. They kept it simple, and their message basically let you know, like they said, when they play, they are going to stay inside for the national anthems.
Why they have to rhyme, though? Couldn't they just they didn't have to rhyme?
I don't know who wrote that. Everybody wants to be a rapper. Come on.
Christ.
All right, and just so you know, the Breonna Taylor case is set to go before the grand jury, so they are going to present evidence from the fatal police shooting where they killed Breonna Taylor to a grand jury as early as next week, according to sources familiar with it. I actually saw my son yesterday, and I ran into him, and he was telling me that it's going to be interesting to see what happens next week. So we are praying that their family, Breonna Taylor's family, does get some type of justice.
Drop on the clues bombs for the good brother My Son and Until Freedom. I love what they've been doing in Kentucky. They've been out there for like weeks, trying to get justice for Breonna Taylor. But I don't have no faith in this system. I just don't. I hate to be the pessimist here, but I don't have no faith in this system at all. Why would I have faith in this wicked, corrupt ass system? I hope I'm pleasantly surprised though, but I don't see it. Not with that attorney general. He loves Trump too much.
And again, let me remind y'all, today is 9/11. It's been 19 years since 9/11 happened. So again, I always want to make sure that throughout today we are thinking about those people who lost their lives and the families who have suffered, the firefighters, everybody who, 9/11. So 19 years ago.
Yeah, I got to check. That reminds me, I got to check on a friend. I have a friend who gets very down and depressed around this time of year because he lost his father in 9/11. So hit him up.
All right, well, that is your front page news.
All right, thank you, Miss Yee. Now, when we come back, tell them who's going to be joining us, Charlamagne, because you're so excited. I can see it all in your face. Don't lift your butt up like that. I can see you excited.
I was like, let me just stand down for this interview.
Let me tell you something. We are celebrating the 20-year anniversary of one of the greatest shows of all time, Girlfriends. Okay, drop on the clues box for Girlfriends, Drama Motion Hater. and the creator of that show, Mara Brock-Akil, is about to join us. I respect this woman so much. She does not get the credit she deserves as a creative, and I'm glad Girlfriends is on Netflix, and I got my whole weekend planned, and it consists of wine for the wife, Casa Dragonis tequila for me, and my girlfriends binge watching on Netflix. God damn it!
What happened?
You're gonna enjoy this because let me tell you something. Charlamagne is definitely the spliff star to her Busta Rhymes. Every time she says something, he hyped it up.
That's right.
Had an ad lib. So
all the real G's, all the real thugs, we out here watching Girlfriends all weekend with our pistols. You heard me?
You said we. You a thug? You carry a pistol?
That's right, gangsters, baby. Real gangsters watch Girlfriends. All right, the hood is out here.
I'm scared. I'm about to go watch Golden Girls then. All right, well, we gonna kick it home.
You would. Of course you would choose 4 old white women over 4 black queens. Of course you would.
Joke.
Maybe he meant the Golden Girls reimagined that they just
the reimagined version.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My old girlfriends.
You would love to see an old version. You would love to see a new version of Golden Girls, but it would be all beige women for you. Four old beige women.
Shut up, man. All right, we'll be back. Mara Brock-Akil. It's the Breakfast Club. Come on.
Who?
What'd you call her?
I said Mara. Mara. I said Mara.
What is?
That's the Latin version. Mara Brock-Akil when we come back. It's the Breakfast Club.
Go from an old white woman to a Dominican that fast. Yep, it's the world's most dangerous morning show. Charlamagne the God, Angela Yee. I don't know where Envy went, but we have a very special guest in the building right now. She is celebrating 20 years of one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Mara Brock-Akil is with us. Good morning, Queen.
Good morning. I am so happy to be here with you guys. Oh my God. What would there ever be a celebration of Girlfriends without you?
I would hope not.
I need to just sit back because
you jump in there too, and I hope you're a fan too. How old are you?
I am actually a woman, but I am actually a Black woman, so there's a lot of themes and topics I can relate to, but I know Charlamagne, I feel like I can't even compete, so I am in this though.
Okay, good.
Well, the beauty of Girlfriends, like Yee just said, it is a lot of topics and themes that men can learn from. And I got put on to the show by my now wife, who was my girlfriend back then. I used to be at the house. She used to have it on. And you know how it is when you're a woman watching her show. You got to sit there and watch it. But then I started to love it too.
Oh, it's funny. We talked about that. I said, you know what? Hey, I think I want this TV show to be the one where the sisters are like, sit your ass down somewhere. We are watching this. You don't have to watch with me. You can watch with me. You can do something, but this is going to be on. It was going to be appointment television for Black women. It was a place for us to be seen. Sex and the City was on at the time. We couldn't even be extras in that show. I love that show, by the way. But I was like, but I want to add, I have something I want to say in this turn of the century. So thank you to your wife of And so you're a smart man from Air, not a smart woman who loves the show Girlfriend.
Sex in the City, I do want to say, because I do like that show also, but I felt like I couldn't see myself in that show, right? I couldn't be entertained by it, but I was like, this isn't, there's topics you could relate to, but when you don't see yourself in the show at all, it is hard. You kind of feel like you're on the outside watching something. And for Girlfriends, since you guys are going to put all the seasons on Netflix this weekend, we're actually the next episode of my podcast, we're dedicating to some of the topics from Girlfriends, like what would you do if your man was wearing a girdle? A waist trainer, because Envy wears waist trainers. I know he's not here right now, but he did get a waist trainer at one point and then started bike riding with it on, and that's how he managed to lose a lot of weight.
It works. And it's funny how, with women, girdles. That's what we were calling it in the episode, I believe. It was calling girdles. It has such shame around it for women. You know what I'm saying? But to your point, now that it's a waist trainer, and you can be out in the public, you put it around your t-shirt, ride your bike, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's cool." It's like no. It's like no.
I have a plan this weekend with the wife to sit around with some adult beverages and binge watch Girlfriends on Netflix all weekend. What are you feeling right now in regards to Girlfriends being released on Netflix?
You know, what am I feeling? That is such a simple yet. I mean, the easy thing is to say joy. It's what I feel. I feel validation in a lot of ways. You know, I think, meaning I knew that this show was big enough for a platform like Netflix. I mean, you know, how many years it has taken to even be on a streamer? Like I was telling, like when way back in the day, I'm like, hey, can we get on Netflix? Can we get on Apple? Can we get to these places? And nobody was feeling it. And I didn't understand it. And that took a little, that was humbling. That was humbling because I knew this show all this time. We were producing it for UPN and then CW. It had value, but I knew that it deserved a bigger audience. And so to be here, to be on Netflix, I feel aligned. I feel aligned. I feel joy. Yeah. I'm ready though. I'm ready to revisit. That's what I'm ready to do. I
want to get some dirt though, Mara, because last time
what you want, Angela?
That you had the movie written already. So now that you have this deal at Netflix, is there talks in bringing that movie?
No. For the record, this is exciting because my Netflix deal was, you know, the mothership of Netflix is so big. My deal for an overall deal was happening on this side of the mothership, and Strong Black Lead getting these 90s sitcoms. Let's just give it up for Strong Black Lead. I mean, for them to say, we are going to get our culture and we're going to put it on the biggest streamer out there so we could all enjoy this. Fantastic. But that deal was happening separately. So those conversations are still very separate. It was, again, if that's not God's timing, that the announcement, the alignment, the 20th anniversary of this would happen at the same time. I feel ready, prepared for this moment. God's got a plan for me, and my pencils are sharpened. My ink is in my pen, is what I wanted to say. So in terms of a movie, I'm open. I told you guys this before when I was on the show. I'm open. I'm here. It costs, and everybody knows it's there. They've got that algorithms, they got the analytics. If they want it, they got me. I'm right there. And so, but I also have to, I just have this amazing new deal. I'm so excited. I got some other stuff to write. I got other things to do. And so when they're ready, they'll knock on my door or they'll pick up the phone and I'll be there.
You know, your previous answer about, you know, how you're feeling made me come up with another question, like, expound on the validation part. Like, what validates a creative like yourself? Like, what validates your work for you?
So when the time that I'm an artist, and yeah, I could sort of paint at home or write at home, but I'm not writing just for my own. I want to have a conversation with culture. I want to have a conversation with my audience. And so if someone says to you, Charlamagne, well, if you're an artist too, well, do you want to just show your art in your house, or you want to just show your art at the corner gallery that's, you know, kind of like 1,000 square feet? Or do you want to go to the largest museum or the largest gallery? You know, say if you want to go to the Met, or if you want to go to these institutions that people say it's the place to be, that's where I want to go. And I want to be able to showcase there. I mean, it's why not? And why? And so I think sometimes our art gets, I just want a big stage. I want a big stage. I want to have a conversation with the world, and why not? And I wanted to have that then. And so now, all these years later, 20 years later, that we've landed on Netflix, it allows for the largest stage ever. I'm hopeful maybe they can roll it into also the global audience, because right now it's a domestic release that they have for these shows. I think these shows would be amazing for the world to see. I think a lot of our humanity, a lot of our Black culture, you know, a lot of the showrunners and the writers and the directors and the actors, you know, they gave a lot in the 90s. We had a lot to say musically, as you guys know. We had a lot to say. The doors were just opening, and we wanted to share a bit of who our humanity is in those stories, and they are worth spreading, you know what I'm saying, the global audience. So the validation for me is in the idea that our stories deserve a world stage.
True indeed.
You know what I wanted to ask you about Tyler Perry, right? And he said that, about as far as doing his shows, that he writes everything himself. He wrote the whole season himself. What are your thoughts on that? And do you think that as a creative yourself, have you ever written like a whole series on your own? Do you think that collaboration is more important? I just want to know how you work personally.
I believe in one vision, many voices. That's how I've always worked. I think part of my job as the creator, as the showrunner, is to be able to articulate, this is what this is about. And then my biggest job, Angela, really is to be a good listener, to hear the best ideas for the greater good of the show. And my job as the boss is to know that their ideas are better than mine today. Go with those ideas, but be able to lead and say, this is where we're going. I remember one thing that comes to mind. I remember when, you guys maybe remember the 4-episode arc that we did with Kimberly Elise. Yes. When I took that to the writer's room, they were like, what? I remember Kenya Barris was one of the first ones, like, guys, this is a comedy. And I'm like, yeah, and we're going to figure this out because this is what's real and this is what's happening, yet we are surviving it, yet we are dealing with it. How can we be a part? How do we give back to the culture? How do we take ownership of a story that is hurting Black women? The numbers that I think still now, I haven't checked them as of today, but back then the numbers were hurting Black women the most. And I believe that statistic still stands. And so, we're going to take care of Black women. We're going to bring this to bear. And yeah, we're going to figure out how to be funny. Those kind of things, tackling subjects, class. Every time, I remember when I first started talking about class, it was a very painful thing for some people to deal with, but it's very painful when you think about how we treat each other. It's like sometimes we're talking about the man all the time, but sometimes even class can be one of our hardest, even Dr. King talked about that. That's the biggest thing that's going on here in America is that the class warfare, and look what we're dealing with now. But my point is, some of the comedy and that we got out of class between Maya and Joan. I mean, even one of my funniest ones was with Cat Williams, when Maya set Joan up on a date and Cat Williams came and Joan was all bougie and he just read her. Things like that we were able to find and dig deeper when we were challenged by the hard stuff. And so that's how I collaborate, Angela. It's just like, sometimes you got to be the one that says, yeah, we're going over here. It might be easier to go this way, but let's go forge a new path and let's go to here and everybody roll your sleeves up. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
As a man, the Kimberly Elise episode literally just made me be like, I'm never cheating ever again.
Oh,
now don't get me wrong. I didn't think that. But at the moment, I was like, I'm good.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
At least wrap it. No, come on, guys. Let's be honest about what we're doing out here, so that maybe we can not only protect ourselves, but we can protect each other. Or
was there ever a time the network shut down an episode because they felt like it would be too racy, or they were like, I don't know if we can address this? Because we've seen other series where people are like, oh, this episode never came out. We saw Blackish, they put out an episode that never came out previously. Was there ever a topic that they were kind of scared to touch?
This is a fun one, Angela. I'm very proud of this one in a lot of ways. So give me 2 seconds. So the Black women's sexuality. So I came into wanting to write Girlfriends, and at the time, most Black women characters on TV, and we're also talking about music videos. So music videos were huge at this time. I mean, so the idea about Black women's sexuality was you were a hoe, you were a groupie, you're more in that category, or on television, because they weren't writing our interior lives, you know what I'm saying? So you didn't have a personal life. You were just the judge or the asexual judge, the person, you don't know who they were sleeping with. So it's like there's this vast void between asexual judge and the black woman. Yeah, thanks. So so I come into the series with that on my mind, that our sexuality is not going to be demonized, and it is going, and we need to shed this. And we had a lot of shame around that. No, we are sexual beings, and that doesn't make us a hoe. So there was a joke run that we did, but I actually won this fight. And but it was a joke run where the girlfriends were talking about what they wanted, and it was all in great jokes, right? It wasn't direct, but it was like what they wanted for pleasure. And it was all, and so those jokes got flagged in the script. And funny enough, I knew they were going to get flagged. And you might remember this. There's another joke in the same script where the William character talks about his blue balls. And they howled during the run through about this joke. It was so funny. It was so funny, but they didn't say anything about it. So now I'm in the note session and they're like, nope, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. And I had that sucker in my back pocket. I was like, okay. First, I argued it, just like I said, hey, this is Black women's, this is their empowerment. And when women are empowered by their own sexuality, by their choice, they will be responsible, they will show up, they will buy the condoms. They're not gonna wait for a man. They will take care of themselves when they own their sexual choice. Sex positive, right? And then they were like, yeah, no, take it out. And then I was like, okay, well then we're taking out blue balls too?
Yep. So
and they were like,
about that, but the women can't do about themselves.
Yes. So when basically I said, so basically what you're telling me, this is all a note session with executives. So what you're telling me is, so jokes about sex when women are, when it's for the pleasure of men, they're okay. But when women have their own choice of pleasure, then that's not okay in 2000, whatever it was. And they turned red and they were mad. And then it was like, so then it got to agents, we were still talking about it. And it was more like, fine, you won. And it was more like that. And I was like, thank you. And then later, I will give them credit during the taping of it and the response to the audience. That was one of the tricks too that really helped producers, because when the audience came in, when we would fight over jokes sometimes or fight over content, the live audience would be sometimes our barometer of the fight. And so when that audience laughed, I was like, oh God. So that's like one less fight I have to say. Yeah. So that was a little inside, what do you call it? Inside, I'm losing my word. Anyway, inside
baseball.
Thank you. And that's my youngest favorite sport, inside baseball for you about those kind of things. But those are the kind of things that I was doing all the time. And, but that's what my job is supposed to do, that I'm learning how to make those fights so that we can get it on the air. That's what my job is. So funny, I'm excited about watching the shows because sometimes I can remember how hard it was to get those shows on the air. You know what I'm saying? And what was working. So now I get to I can just enjoy. I can just go back and just have fun and relax. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about ratings. I don't have to worry about, are we going to get another season? I could just really enjoy what we did and celebrate it.
It's going to be interesting because I have a feeling Girlfriends is going to break a lot of records on Netflix as far as viewing.
Yes. Yeah, I like when you talk like that.
No, I do. I really do. So it's just going to be interesting to see how people, just come back around to you for lack of that phrase.
What I want to know, Charlamagne, what is so you told me how you got there, but what, one of the things that you are a validation to something, a fight that I said, Black men are going to show up for this show. They were like, because there were times when they wanted the guys to be a little sillier on the show, like the sort of taking pot shots more at men. I said, no, this is not going to be a male bashing, it's not going to be a male bashing show. And I think a lot of Black men were worried it was going to be. Because I always said that the women they're going to be as great as the men are great. We have to make great challenges for them. So anyway, that was one of my theories. And the fact that you're a big fan and your girlfriend, now your wife, said, sit down and watch it. What made you stay? What are some of your favorite episodes? What did you see that made you Girlfriend's #1 fan?
I think because it was very relatable, because it seemed like at the time, it seemed like now. You know what I mean? Like they weren't corny. You know, like you would hear like the hip hop lingo and the hip hop conversation, and for me at the time, that cut through what was on TV at the time. And then it was the depictions of the women, of course, because you learn so much. But the brothers like William, because William was somebody who people might consider corny, but he wasn't. He had a great job. He had a lot of women, beautiful women that he was.
I know, Keisha Sharp. I mean, Monica Charles Brooks.
Yeah, and then like Darnell was like the working class black man who was really trying to do right by his family, and you know, I don't know, it's just relatable on so many different levels.
Oh, thank you.
You know, Kelsey Grammer, he was the EP on Girlfriend, and that Girlfriend got made at a time when I would assume it was harder to get a black show like that made. So how was he, as a white man, a good partner? What was the benefit?
Well, and here's real simple. So someone of his caliber at the time, he was huge. He was like keeping the lights on at Paramount. So meaning like, if Paramount had any sort of losses, Frasier was the one. It was writing big checks. I mean, I'm saying it was holding it down. So I met him at that stage in his career, right? He had a deal, like he would, and he didn't have any shows that year. He didn't sell anything, and we were kind of on the late. My development was backwards. In fact, UPN came to me and said, Mara, we would love a companion piece for the Parkers. I know Moesha and Parkers were already paired, but they were having success with the Parkers, and they thought they were maybe going to switch nights, and they wanted a companion piece. So what would you do? And I basically pitched them Girlfriends. But I didn't have a studio. It doesn't typically happen that way. Typically, you have a studio partner, and then you and the studio partner go pitch to the network. I had a network but had no studio. And Kelsey at the time had nothing. He hadn't sold anything in the marketplace. And so he still had money on the books, meaning, you know, a studio, if Kelsey wants to do something, he could be like, hey, I found something, let's get this in. And this is what I love about Kelsey. He was like, it's already sold? Yeah, I'll take that. It's like, I don't have to do anything. And then, so I really do appreciate the fact that he said yes. He could have said no. He could have just said, hey, I'll sit out this year, but he didn't. Okay, here's a show. It's good. It's well written. I laughed a few times. I remember he said that. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. You know, and that's how, and so because he said yes, and if that's all Kelsey ever did, I am so thankful for that yes. You know what I'm saying? Because to come through, and that was even funny. Kelsey Grammer, they got people's attention too. Kelsey Grammer, show about black women. What is this? So it just sort of kept following the rolling rock, so to speak, and it was a blessing.
And to quote what he said about you just now, he was asked about Girlfriends, and he talked about how the show was going to go on strike. It's like people were going on strike, all kinds of issues. And he said he thought it deserved a proper send-off. And he talked about Tracy Ellis Ross being on Blackish. And then he said, Girlfriends movie would be fun, but you would have to get Mara Brock Akil to write it. And I'm not sure she's available right now because she's working on other projects.
That was really nice. Yes, that was really nice to hear. I heard that same quote, and it was really, it was beautiful to see. You know what I'm saying? After all this time, that people can have. What is that quote? You guys can help me with this. People may not know what you did, but they'll
make you feel.
And so it's nice to have a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? After all this time, and so I'm excited about that.
I just feel like it's such a no-brainer. I mean, I would assume Kelsey would have to be involved if y'all did a miniseries, right, or a movie or something. But it's like now you got Kenya Barris, who was a writer on Girlfriends, who's huge in Hollywood. Tracy Ellis Ross, yourself, you and Kenya at Netflix. I feel like it's a no-brainer for Netflix to do. You and Kenya in a room should be able to make that happen in 2 seconds.
Yeah, they didn't bring it up yet? Nobody brought it up?
Brought it up yet. I just got there. I just got there. Let's see what they're doing. I'm there I am there to build new content, and I'm excited about that. I got to do that. But it should be a no-brainer, Charlamagne. It should be a no-brainer.
You also inked a deal in January with Fox. So you have both of those. How does that work?
We're working that out. No, actually, I do. I'm waiting to hear even about that project. I had so much fun. I will say, you were asking about my writing process. I did write the pilots for that Fox series, and so it's in a holding pattern, like a lot of Hollywood is in a holding pattern. I mean, COVID has. The pandemic, it has a ripple effect through the bottleneck of a lot happening. So I'm in that, I'm on tarmac and seeing what will happen with that. But my focus right now is at Netflix to build something new. So that could very much happen. So we'll see.
I am excited for this weekend. We'll be watching Girlfriends. Everybody will be watching. If you haven't seen it, then you got to start from season 1. But for everybody that is a huge Girlfriends fan, and there's so many of us, I know we'll all be revisiting this and getting it trending and making sure that we're continuing that conversation. So congratulations on the deal.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I hope everybody makes it an event to watch Girlfriends this weekend like I am in my house. You know, I hope they have watch parties and, you know.
Oh, yeah, I'm having one too. I'm having a little IG, I call it my IG pre-sip. I'm going to do that. And I think, you know, it'll be fun to see who shows up for that. And then I'm tweeting live during the first 2 episodes. So I hope people come join my party.
And it comes out, it starts tonight, right?
Yes.
Mara, thank you very much. You have a great weekend.
You too. Hey, thank you guys. Really appreciate you. Thank you. You stay well, stay healthy.
Will do. You too.
Okay, bye.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
All right, so I was telling y'all about this Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion that's going to be happening on HBO Max. And it was 30 years since the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air debuted. Is that crazy? 30 years?
That's a long time.
The old.
All right, so something that we did not think we would see anytime soon is the original Aunt Viv and Will Smith. So they posted a picture together. Janet Hubert is her name in real life. And that's their first time sitting down on camera together in 27 years.
Okay. I'm here for that. I might have to get HBO Max. I don't think I have HBO Max. I need to get it because the Boondocks is on HBO Max as well. I need to get that. But I would watch that special.
Yeah, so I cannot wait. But, you know, Janet Hubert wrote about her relationship with Will Smith and how things just went left in her book, Perfection is Not a Sitcom Mom. She also says that she was demonized after her departure. She played Aunt Viv in the first 3 seasons, and she left in 1993. And
is
she
it
also
colorism to say the dark skin Aunt Viv? Because that's what people say.
I mean, she is darker than the other one, so I guess that's, you know, maybe you could say the original Aunt Viv.
The original Aunt Viv.
There you go, the original Aunt Viv. I like the original.
I like that better. And since we're talking about colorism, let's talk about Tyrese. All right, Tyrese is on Uncensored on TV1. That's going to air on Sunday. I know y'all will be watching. Are you guys on it?
No.
All right, well, he talked about his own experiences with colorism. Listen to this.
I had never felt a piece of handsome. I have never heard compliments throughout my childhood. I caught every joke in the dark-skinned community ever. I was black, burnt, tarp. I was blurple, black and purple. I just never felt attractive, ever.
Well, I think he should call Envy more. You know, Envy will absolutely tell him how handsome he is. Envy loves dark chocolate. And furthermore, what if you put that out there and people just shrug because they don't really find you handsome? You ever thought about that? You can't force folks to call you handsome. Sometimes you just got to accept the fact that you're black and ugly as ever.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes you got to tell people things to boost their confidence. Like, you know, if Tyrese called me and I know he was hurt and he was down, yeah, I would say, bro, you handsome. Just like you, I say it to you all the time because I know you don't feel that way and I know it hurts your feelings so much. So I'd be like, yo, Charlamagne, you handsome, bro.
I do feel handsome. I feel amazingly fine. Okay?
Sorry.
All right. First of all, I'm too fast, too fine. That would be the name of my movie.
Too fast.
Well, anyway, I sympathize
too fast
with...
what? As premature.
I sympathize with him for that, though, guys, because growing up, it has to be hurtful to be hearing people say those things about you. And that's how people end up having issues with the color of their skin when you're young and you get teased about it. For real. I mean,
it sounds like he's fishing for compliments a little bit. Just
no.
bit, but
If that's his experience, I'm not going to tell somebody that's not what their experience is. But Tyrese is a handsome man, so
why we don't feel sorry for all the slander Tyrese catching out? Because Tyrese get way more slander in his adult life, I'm sure.
Well, I feel bad for him as a kid. As an adult, you know.
He doesn't get slandered for his looks, though. He don't get slandered for his looks. He gets slandered
it's not because of his looks.
He don't get slandered because of his looks.
As an adult, are you crazy? Pull up that meme when he's crying, saying, "What more do you want from me?"
Yeah, but that's because
That's not about his looks.
That's not about his looks.
And I will say, Tyrese,
could be more.
Tyrese handles it very well. So
he does.
Right now, all the
it could be more than one dark-skinned brother bald head, bro. I'm just telling you that. You ain't got to be the only one. You ain't got to hate on Tyrese.
Remember when he wore those boots?
Those boots. He did the interview with Big Boy, right? And boots look crazy.
No, those weren't boots. Those were hard-bottom shoes with the Adidas
whatever they
tracksuit.
were.
Yeah. You said I felt sorry for him when he was a kid, but as an adult, he deserves it.
Shout out to Tyrese.
Shout out to Tyrese. I like the fact that he has a good sense of humor still through it all. So I can appreciate
until you tease him too much.
Yeah,
until you tease him too much.
He didn't call me Charlamagne a couple times.
Yeah, he definitely will. And we didn't post that song with CeeLo. Oh man. We might get a text today. We got a problem?
That's your group text. All right, now let's talk about a new show that's coming. Now, you guys know I like The Real Housewives. I love The Real Housewives of Potomac. I don't know if y'all been watching this season, but it is a pretty damn good season. And shout out to my girl Leah. She's on The Real Housewives of New York. Well, there's a Real Housewives of Salt Lake City that is premiering on Bravo November 11th.
Oh, I can't wait.
Let me just play y'all this trailer, and then I'm going to break something down for you.
I'm a purebred pioneer Mormon. Oh, here it goes. I'm Jewish. I'm from Chicago. I'm actually Pentecostal. We are Jewish by heritage, Mormon by choice.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
It is a very big deal that I'm no longer Mormon.
I was raised Mormon, but I'm converting to Islam. Assalamu alaikum, bitches.
All right, everybody is interested in one character, and that is Mary Crosby. The problem is this, okay? She allegedly married her late grandmother's husband, Robert C. Cosby, and that's how she...
Grandmother's husband. So he must have been filthy rich.
Yes, and that's how she inherited multiple successful family businesses. So according to reports, her grandmother was married...
She took grandma's husband?
Yes, that was her grandmother's second husband. Mm-hmm.
She white or black?
How old was he?
I'm assuming a lot older, but let's see. Her grandmother passed away at the age of 65 in 1997. And at the time of her death, her estate included a restaurant, a daycare, a radio station, and other businesses. And so Mary Cosby then married her late grandmother's husband, Robert, in 1998. Right after her grandmother died. They've been married for 20 years. They have a teenage son together. But there's also some family issues because there's allegations that Robert Cosby had something to do with the death of his ex-wife.
So she married her grandmother's husband? How many years are they apart? This is crazy.
And they've been married for 20 years.
So how old is she now? She got to be 40. He got to be 80 or something like that.
Right. So anyway, that premieres on Bravo November 11th.
I'm watching.
It already, and if you listen to that trailer, it already sounds interesting.
I think we might be looking at this the wrong way. How do you know she didn't leave that husband for her granddaughter in her will? How do we know?
I don't know about that. But it's crazy because they got married a year after her grandmother died.
He might have been in the will.
And then people are accusing him, so we shall see. All right, well, I'm Angela Yee, and that is... Mm-hmm.
No, I'm saying Andy's probably filthy rich, so they just keeping the money in the family.
No, but you don't marry your that's like your grandfather, bro. That is your grandfather.
It depends what his bank account looks like, how much money he got, Yee.
You are a bird.
I just told you all the businesses that he actually, a restaurant, a daycare, a radio station, other businesses as well, so he got it. All right, I'm Angela Yee, and that's your rumor report.
All right, thank you, Miss E. Charlamagne, who you giving that donkey to?
I need Skip Bayless to come to the front of the congregation. I'd like to have a word with him, please.
Okay. All right, we'll get into that next. Keep it locked. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Donkey of the Day for Friday, September 11th goes to the infamous Skip Bayless. You remember Skip Bayless, who used to be on First Take. Now he's on Fox Sports with Shannon Sharp. Now, Skip Bayless is a sports critic, not a sports analyst, not a sports pundit. He's a sports critic. He may say otherwise, but all I do is hear him critique other players. Not a lot of analyst talk at all, just a lot of critique, which is fine. I love a great critic. Some would say I'm one myself, but like most critics, eventually they say something that pisses people off. It's a thin line between critiquing and being offensive, and Skip Bayless is a habitual line stepper, okay? He goes over that line quite often, and he overstepped the line yesterday when he had an opinion about Dallas Cowboy quarterback Dak Prescott discussing his struggles with depression and anxiety. Let's hear what the good brother Dak Prescott had to say.
All throughout this quarantine and this off season, I started experiencing emotions I've never felt before. Anxiety for the main one. And then, honestly, a couple of days before my brother passed, I would say I started experiencing depression. Didn't know necessarily what I was going through, to say the least, and hadn't been sleeping at all. But for one reason, one night, I sleep the best I've slept. Missing probably 10 plus calls from Tad and giving my dad enough time to come in my bedroom and tell me what had happened. And so I woke up, probably the best night of sleep I've ever had in 2020 from the worst news, some of the worst news I'll ever get. It showed me of how vulnerable we have to be as humans, how open we have to be, because our adversity, our struggles, what we go through, is always going to be too much for ourselves, and maybe too much for even one or two people, but never too much for a community, or never too much for the people and the family that you love.
Now, anybody who listens to The Breakfast Club for years knows I am a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. I can't wait to watch us play the Rams this Sunday night. But if you listen to The Breakfast Club or my Brilliant Idiots podcast, then you also know I've talked about my struggles with anxiety and depression. In fact, I wrote a whole book about it called Shook One, Anxiety Playing Tricks on Me. That book is actually more of a journal that I was keeping while going to therapy, and I share a lot of my lifelong struggles. That's not a book plug, by the way. It's just letting you know that I've dealt with anxiety and depression so long that I had to document it, okay? I go to therapy once a week, usually Thursday or Fridays at 3. I have a sacred purpose coach. Salute to Yachty out there. I walk around my yard barefoot. I hug trees. I do breathing exercises. I got the Calm app. I got CBD, okay? I got gems, the stones. I charge my crystals by the full moon. All right, salute to my sister Debbie Brown and Karma Bliss. The moral of the story is I do whatever I got to do to stay mentally healthy out here, period. Okay, I totally understand how Dak feels. I had 2 friends commit suicide in June, weeks apart. Rest in peace to Jasmine Waters. Rest in peace, my man Shaquille Cardi from Anguilla. And it didn't hit me until August, okay? And when I said I had 2 dark-ass weeks in August, Lord have mercy. If I hadn't been doing the work on myself all these years to know what that was and why it was, and more importantly, how to deal with it, no telling how that would have turned out. So when I say I overstand what Dak Prescott says he was going through, I totally overstand what that brother was going through, okay? But one person who didn't have any sympathy for what Dak was going through and didn't overstand or seem to understand what Dak was going through was Fox Sports' Skip Bayless, okay? He had this to say in regard to Dak Prescott revealing his struggles with his mental health. Let's listen.
I'm going to ask our audience to feel free to go ahead and condemn me if you choose as cold-blooded and insensitive on this issue. I have deep compassion for clinical depression, but when it comes to the quarterback of an NFL team, you know this as well as better than I do. It's the ultimate leadership position in sports. Am I right about that? You are commanding an entire franchise. What's the roster now? Is it 53 still?
53, but I think they got like 15 practice squad guys.
Okay. But you're commanding a lot of young men and some older men. And they're all looking to you to be their CEO, to be in charge of the football team. Because of all that, I don't have sympathy for him going public with, I got depressed. I suffered depression early in COVID to the point that I couldn't even go work out.
Skip Bayless, let me be the first to tell you, shut the F up forever. Do you know that yesterday was National Suicide Prevention Day? Literally yesterday. Okay, I saw Shanti Das post that, but it literally was yesterday, National Suicide Prevention Day. When you made those comments, it was on National Suicide Prevention Day. You see how the universe works? The universe wants us to have this discussion, okay? People like you, Skip, you cause folks who may be dealing with depression and anxiety to kill themselves. Seriously, rhetoric like that causes people to kill themselves. See, the reason I talk about my mental health struggles the way I do is because, one, speaking about it is a form of therapy for me, and it helps me feel better about myself. And two, I want other people, especially black people like me, to know that they are not alone. So when someone like Dak Prescott, who millions of kids look up to because he's the black starting quarterback for the greatest football franchise of all time, the Dallas Cowboys, nobody can dispute that during a topic like this. When that brother decides to be vulnerable and let everyone know what he's going through, that gives the rest of the village strength. It might make someone on the ledge say, oh, Dak deals with anxiety. Oh, Dak deals with depression. Oh, and he went to go get treatment for it? Oh, he went to a therapist? Maybe I should do that too. But then here comes folks like Skip Bayless with the lame-ass, age-old, take that having mental health issues is a sign of weakness. By the way, that's one of those old patriarchal ways of thinking that has to be deconstructed. Like, men are taught to apologize for their weakness and women are taught to apologize for their strength. Okay? F all that. All right? When I feel like crying, I'm going to cry. And tears are not signs of weakness. Tears are signs that you've been strong too long, and maybe it's time to talk to somebody. When Dak Prescott says, because he put out a statement on the Dallas Cowboys website, he responded to what Skip said, and he said, being a leader, this is Dak Prescott, I love these words. He said, being a leader is about being genuine and being real. If I wouldn't have talked about those things to the people I did, I wouldn't have realized my friends and a lot more people go through them. He also says, I don't care how big a person you are. If you are not mentally healthy and you are not thinking the right way, then you are not going to be able to lead people the right way. Drop on the clues bombs for Dak Prescott. Every single word he uttered was true. Okay, Dak, my brother, no truer words have ever been spoken. You are a true leader. You know why you're a true leader? Because great leaders don't tell you what to do. They show you how it's done. And that's what you are doing right now by sharing your anxiety and depression with the world. Two things I want you to take from this donkey of the day. Okay? Number one, this is a prime example of why you have to be careful who you share your weaknesses with, because some people can't wait for the opportunity to use them against you. Okay? And number two, the only way we will eradicate the stigma around mental health in the black community is to share our stories. We have to share our weaknesses and our difficulties, because that can be more nourishing to others than sharing our qualities and successes. Please let Remy Ma give Skip Bayless the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
All right. Don't disrespect my quarterback, okay? Salute to Karen Civil. Karen Civil actually got me a football autographed by Dak Prescott. Not just Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, and a bunch of the other Dallas Cowboys. She got me that a couple years ago. Okay. But
Nice.
this isn't about the Cowboys. This is about team mental health right
Oh,
now.
I thought it was.
All right? It's about team mental health. It is always about the Cowboys, but it's about team mental health as well. And I just encourage everybody to do what you have to do to stay mentally healthy, and don't let anybody tell you that you're weak because you are sharing your difficulties and your struggles. Yes, I deal with anxiety. Yes, I deal with depression. Yes, I go to therapy. Yes, I have a sacred purpose coach. I do whatever the hell I have to do to keep it together. And I am proud of myself for such.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you for that.
I think I met Dak Prescott. Did I?
You did. It was you was on vacation. I think you was in Hawaii.
No, I was in the Bahamas.
Yo, you are a
That's
star.
right.
Yes, you did. I was in Bahamas. I wish
No,
I
I
was
sent
there.
a picture.
There.
I sent a picture because
was a
somebody was
picture.
like, "There's Dak Prescott," and I was like, "Oh, he plays for the Cowboys." So I took a picture.
Yeah.
So it was Charlamagne.
I never forget that picture because he was shirtless, and when she sent it to
Shirtless?
the
Like, look at you. He was shirtless. That's all you remember.
That's why you'll never forget it.
He was shirtless.
Envy replied, "Nice." I remember
No,
that.
I did not. Yes, you did. He said, I always remember that picture because he was shirtless. You were kinky. So where you want to go, huh? Where you want to go, huh? What's the topic?
Where do you want to go?
I think
What
back
just
to bed.
happened?
Where y'all want to go next?
All right. So I was asking y'all this behind the scenes. We were talking about Katie Holmes. She has a new boyfriend. He's a chef, Emilio Vitolo Jr. And so there's been pictures of them all over the internet. But who knew that he already had a fiance who he was living with? And they had a dog. They have a dog together and everything. And she apparently found out, allegedly, that he was dating Katie Holmes the same way we found out, by seeing the pictures posted. And so now the story is that his fiance had no idea he was dating Katie Holmes, and he broke up with her via text message. Is that rude? Do you think that you have to break up in person?
Hell yeah, that's rude. You can't break up with somebody on through text.
Especially they were living together, and that's his fiance.
I don't know how tough this fiance is. Okay, she might be a whole gangster.
But part of me feels like this, right? I feel like if you're about to get fired from your job, do you want to have to actually go into work and get fired in person? Wouldn't you rather they let you know while you're at home? Don't bother coming in. This
That's
isn't working
true,
out.
Some jobs you have to come in though, because the HR has to walk you out with that little box. I'm serious.
All right, well, let's open up the phone lines. 800-585-1051. Is it rude to break up with somebody through text? I think it's foul. I think it's kind of
Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, let's talk about it. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you just join us, what we talking about, Yeezy?
We were talking about Katie Holmes and her new boyfriend. Apparently, he already was in a relationship. He's engaged, lives with his fiance, and she found out that he was dating Katie Holmes, just like we found out from the tabloids. And he broke up with her allegedly via text message. His name is Chef Emilio Vitolo Jr.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it wrong to break up with somebody via text message? What do you think?
This is a good topic. Go ahead, Envy.
I think so. I think it's wrong. I think it's cowardly. I think that's something that you do face to face or you do over the phone. I just don't think you send out a text and be like, hey, it's over, it's a wrap, one yourself. You know, and especially if you're dating somebody, you've been seeing them for a long time.
Did you say one yourself?
Yeah, like one yourself. Yeah, out, gone. Peace. See you later.
Old school
so
New
I do
York
think it's
slang.
foul. Yeah,
42 and up.
But yeah, I do think it's foul.
I think it depends what type of weapons the woman has. You know what I'm saying? Is she a gun owner? Can she shoot? How far does her brothers, fathers, uncles live from her? Does she have a big ass dog? Is she cooking grits when you at the crib? Hot tea? Make sure nothing's boiling on the stove when you break up with her. Does she train MMA, karate? Does she own a knife? Mace maybe. A lot of various factors that go into whether or not you should break up with a woman in person.
I didn't think about that. If they're a violent person, then yes. But if it's just a relationship,
why would you have
just
been
want to see face to
engaged
face.
to somebody like that? See, here's the thing. If you really loved somebody at some point and cared about them, you should do it in person. But what he did was so foul. She got to see all these pictures of them hugged up all over town, looking like a couple. And you have a fiance at home, and that's how she finds out. Maybe you just are embarrassed. And
now keep in mind, we're old school, right? In a lot of ways. Right. So a lot of this new way of communicating is via text. It is via DM. It is the voice message. Voice message. Can you do a voice message? Can I leave a voice message?
No, you can't leave no damn voice message.
So I have to break up with the person in person.
I think it's only right.
I don't know.
It's the right thing to do, but do we always do the right thing? And then I also kind of compare it to getting fired from a job, right? Like a lot of people get mad when you lose your job and they make you come to work, you work the whole day, or you come in and they're like, yeah, we're going to have to let you go. Like, damn, they could have told me this at home.
Now, what if you break up with the person and they pull out their phone and start recording you and be like, look at this jerk. The person's crying tears. Look at this jerk. He just broke up with me in front of all of these people. Imagine, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know about that in-person thing nowadays, bro, in 2020. I'm gonna be honest with you.
All right, well, let's go to the phone lines. 800-585-1051. Hello, who's this?
Trace Norwood.
Hey, mama. Now, what do you think about breaking up with somebody through text?
I just called in and they put me on hold, but I said I've been with a guy for 3 years. He waited until I went to work to text me that he wanted to break up.
Wow.
So I did a U-turn in the middle of the road. Went home and told him to put his shit out. We ain't have no kids, but I'm like, yeah, we had a dog together.
Yeah, they have a dog. You know, it's crazy that you said that. They have a dog together too.
Yeah,
Katie
I'm like,
Holmes
that's a kid too. I mean,
you're right.
Who gets the dog?
Who keeps a dog? Yeah.
Yeah, I still got her.
That's right. Does he have visitation?
Or do you kick her every now and then just because?
No.
No. I love my.
Does he get to see the dog? Does he get visitation?
Hell no.
No. We've been together 3 damn years, and you wait till I go to work to tell me that it's over with the text message? Man, please.
See?
So when was he supposed to tell you? How would you have wanted him to tell you?
In person, over the phone.
He was safer. Actually, he was safer telling me through a text message because...
Exactly.
I don't know what I would do if I was standing right there. So I think he did a good job, but I just went home, turned around, went home and told him, just go ahead and go. That's the safest thing for both of us at this moment. So,
All right. Well, thank you.
You missed that D, though.
What? You missed what? Show me.
The dog.
Shut up. Oh. 800-585-1051. We're asking, is it rude to break up with somebody over text? Call us now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Now, if you just joined us, we're asking, is it rude to break up with somebody through text? All right, let's go to the phone lines. Hello, who's this?
What's good with the Envy?
Hey, what's up, brother?
What's good, Charlamagne? What's good, Yee?
What's up? You sound like you broke up with somebody on text.
You already know, Yee. This is Gary from
I
Conviction
can tell. I know you did, Gary.
Yeah, I talk about it in my first book, Pillar to Post. My ex, she was real violent, beautiful girl, green eyes, gorgeous. And I had to break up with her through the text. She went to work. I stayed home, pretended I was sick, packed up all my clothes, and cleared it. When she came home...
It sounds like an abusive relationship.
Yeah, she was. She was very violent. I love her to death, but she used to like to fight. And I knew she would have bleached my clothes. She did it before, so I knew it would have happened again, so I waited till she went to work. Yeah.
See, that's what I said. If it's somebody violent, then I get it. Then, yeah, you got to do what you got to do. But if it's a relationship and you just over and you just tired, you got to show them some respect. But if they violent and you know they're going to throw some hot grits on you or bleach your clothes or try to run you over,
That's
then,
what I just tried to tell y'all. You don't know, man. You got to know what type of person you dealing with, what type of weapons they got in the crib. Don't go to the house when they boiling something. Okay, that boiled something might end up on you.
All right, well. Hello, who's this?
It's Dave.
Dave, what's up, man? Your phone sound a little crazy, brother.
Man, this is cheap-ass Metro, man.
So he got to break up on text.
You definitely got to break up on text.
Wait, what happened?
Actually, I broke up through edible arrangement.
What?
Broke up through
edible arrangement?
Okay.
Come on, man.
What the card say? What the card say?
I'm done with your ass. Have these pineapples and stick them somewhere where you can't find them else.
Why did you do that? What happened?
What happened is she was out here sticking around with these people. Getting stuck.
That's why she
left in and left out.
She should have replied back to you. I'm gonna feed these pineapples to the next man so his semen tastes better than yours.
That's what Charlamagne would have wrote.
But I had to get rid of that. She was just too much.
You miss her?
No, not at all. But sometimes
you miss her right now. Don't lie to me.
He said sometimes he do.
Sometimes I think about it. Not a time. And I think about where them damn pineapples went.
I can tell you where the
You know where they went. Diced pineapples.
Next man's stomach.
It probably did, but
you never know what Charlamagne.
That's a good idea. I'm going to find out what happened to them pineapples.
You better not.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I ain't gonna lie. If I was her, I would have sent a message like, "Hey, we said thanks for the edible arrangement.
We enjoy the fruit."
You know, this is horrible. I didn't think of that. I just stared at the enemy.
Bro, leave it alone. Don't you go back over there.
You gave her new man some energy. You know that the fruits give you energy.
And I forgot about them pineapples. They said they make the poom poom smell better.
Yep. Well, you
And
did
you
her a
seem-
favor.
You did a good deed, man.
I would have posted it on Instagram like me and my new boo eating pineapples from my ex-boo.
You like
Goals.
Dr. Dre giving his ex-wife charity money.
Thank you, brother. Hello, who's this?
This is Natalie. Good morning.
Good morning. Now we're talking about breaking up over text. What are your opinions? What are your thoughts?
I thought that it's okay. Right now, it's the times of coronavirus. Quite frankly, if we have something to talk about, we need to go ahead and just get that now.
You could FaceTime, though, still, with coronavirus.
I mean, we could set up a FaceTime date and we could talk about it after the fact, but, like, let's not let this thing linger. You know, like, just speak your truth. Just let it out. I mean,
I'm with you.
invite.
By
I
the
might
way,
be out of town. Say that again.
You just gave everybody a great idea, because if you don't have the heart to break up in person, you can just break up over text or voice message and blame it on coronavirus. Social distancing.
I mean, like, I don't want to spread any extra germs. I care so much about you. I just need to let you know what I felt.
That is so foul. Thank you.
I love it.
What's the moral of the story, guys?
The moral of the story is just make sure your girl can't fight. Right? That's the moral of the story. That's the real biggest varying factor in whether or not you want to break up in person. Is it going to end with you getting busted upside your head with something? If so, you might need to do it over text. Or voice message. I think voice message.
All right. Well, we got rumors on the way.
Yes, Cardi B got somebody arrested, and I say for good reason.
All right. We'll get into that next. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Killer Mike.
Well, people were very critical of Killer Mike for a meeting with the Georgia governor, Brian Kemp. Now he had...
Oh, no, man.
Governor Kemp tweeted out today, Marty and I had a great meeting with Killer Mike. We discussed how small businesses and the music industry are weathering the pandemic, the value of our skilled trade workers, and our fight to end human trafficking in Georgia. We look forward to seeing him again soon. But he got a lot of criticism because of the optics. And Killer Mike responded to all that criticism. You know, people have a lot of issues with Kemp for stealing the election and for voter suppression and all of that. What were you going to say, Charlamagne?
I was going to say, F all those fools coming from Michael Render. You know what I'm saying? If black people don't know who out here frontlining for us by now, then God bless them. God bless them. Okay? Everybody more worried about their perception than actual progress. Like, come on, y'all know who Killer Mike is. Who blacker than Killer Mike? Killer Mike, one of the most blackest black men I know. He banks black, he buys black, he has several black businesses, he employs black people. Hell, yesterday while they was on Twitter tripping, he was feeding 300 black people, I believe, with the Bankhead seafood truck. So, man, please.
All right, so somebody had asked Killer Mike on Twitter, so you are talking to Kemp on the behalf of your community, and he responded, after I sought counsel from community activists that I know and have worked with over 20 years, black judges and lawyers, black business leaders, and my neighbors, I absolutely did. I pay taxes in Georgia and own business there. I'm checking up on my dollars at work. I also meet with my city council member, state rep, and mayor. I suggest all Georgians do the same. He said only time will tell as far as if he's going to fix any of the things that he discussed. He said, I plan to keep doing what was on the T-shirt I wore, we all must. Some of my issues, blacks in Georgia having more than 2% of state contracts while making up 35% of the state, black men and boys getting free trade school versus building more jails, a justice system that deals with children's trauma versus jailing them. You need better issues.
Yeah, and they don't even know what Mike and Brian Kemp talked about fully, but they have an opinion. And people keep saying, oh, well, Brian Kemp suppressed the vote against Stacey Abrams. Well, he's still the governor of Georgia, so you're not supposed to engage with him? That makes no sense to me. And by the way, if you're worried about Brian Kemp suppressing the vote, why are you not worried about Joe Biden, who wrote the 86 mandatory minimum sentencing or the 88 crack laws or the 94 crime bill? Y'all got no problem running to speak to him or voting for him in November. So don't tell me about who Michael is meeting with. If there's anybody I trust in a room full of vultures, it's Michael Render. That man is a true leader.
All right. And listen, if you're talking about ending human trafficking and you can sit down and have a meeting, I would meet with anybody if that's going to help.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Now, Cardi B, since we're talking about politics, she actually says on her live that she hired a private investigator to arrest a teenage Trump supporter who actually put her address out there. Listen to what she said.
Let me tell you something. Gets so intense that a Trump supporter posted my address and encouraged people to dox my home, to put my house on fire. I had to literally hire a private investigator and serve them with a warrant and arrest this boy. Mind you, this boy was a teenager. His parents were shook.
I am not mad at that at all.
I love it.
You want to put my address out? I got some money to hire a private investigator because you know the police ain't gonna really do nothing about that. So you got to hire somebody, and she got that kid arrested.
Ain't nothing wrong with
that. I want all social media agitators to get arrested and sued. I am sick of these people being able to say anything they want to you online. Get their ass locked up, sue them. And them private investigators are good. They'll find out the address of the people. They'll find out how much money in their bank account to see if it's worth suing. All kind of stuff.
Yeah, I just had to hire one the other day that got me all the information I needed yesterday. Got it in like 10 hours.
I got a lot of intel on all my enemies. Trust me. Trust me.
Mm-hmm. You know, I had a bad issue with the stalker, and this person was sending all kinds of food deliveries and stalking everywhere that I went, and you know, doing all and putting my address, my parents' address online, and
get his ass.
So it took a while, but they found the person. And, you know, found her mom too. It was like, and she kept on posting pictures under a fake page on Instagram and changing it. But she had herself as a white man, like with a gun. But the detective actually told me it's probably a black woman who's doing that because they say it's usually the opposite that they post as like their profile picture. And it was a young black girl who was in college, but she did have some mental issues. Mm-hmm. But this was something that went on for quite some time. And it was, you know, she was threatening my friends online. She was posting all kinds of stuff, calling people, getting people's numbers.
I caught one like that too. She was a black woman. She had mental problems, mental issues. And we found out who she was. She used to come to the post office near my house and send packages to my house from the post office, basically telling me, send it to the station, but basically telling me I know where you live. And we caught her, and we spoke to her mom, and she just had mental problems. We didn't arrest her or anything like that.
I wonder if it's the same person. All right, now, Alicia Keys has started a fund to support small businesses owned by African Americans. She wants to raise $1 billion. So she did announce the details of that initiative in an open letter to Billboard, and she also agreed to perform at the NFL League's kickoff event for the 2020 season. The reason that she did that, though, is because they are contributing to her new endowment fund. So that's why she did it.
I respect it. Drop on the clues bombs for Alicia Keys. I love it.
All right, and we got a shout out to Mulatto. So, you know, she's a freshman, XXL freshman, and they've been releasing the freestyles. And her freestyle, she actually flirted a little bit with Fabio Foreign. Listen to this.
I don't gotta rap about sex, but it's way too good not to brag on. I ain't even supposed to rap again yet, but if Fabio want to, then I ain't gonna pass on. Yeah, bitch, I get my Mac on. He ain't tricking, I skip him like bad songs. I just tried to hunt it on jury during the pandemic, yeah, my money that long.
And the whole time he was smiling, he was hyped. It was cute.
That's dope. She popping out too. Her records are really doing well, man. I was in Atlanta and her records ring in the club.
Yeah, I want to drop on the clues bombs for my little niece, LaPortia. She hit me yesterday and said, I can't trust that your other nieces are keeping you informed on the girls to watch out for. So I'm going to do that. Mulatto, a.k.a. Big Lotto.
Yeah, shout out to Big Lotto.
She sent me that yesterday. And she said Lotto is actively fighting to combat colorism. In her music video, she writes all her own raps and won and turned down the deal she had on the rap game. So thank you to LaPortia for keeping your old ass uncle in the loop.
All right, and Netflix viewers are calling for a boycott, and that is because of that movie Cuties. Now, remember we talked about this. It's a French film, and there's 11-year-old dancers twerking, dancing seductively. But at first, it was an issue with the artwork that they used for the movie because it's very suggestive, and as we're fighting trafficking of young girls and girls going missing, putting something out like that it's disgusting no matter what, because there's some disgusting people in this world. Well, now that movie has been released and people are very upset. There's a warning for sex and nudity and a trigger warning for the content on Netflix. If you got to do all that, maybe it's not a good idea to release it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but what about them shows like, it's some show my daughter watches all the time. It's about cheerleaders or gymnasts or dancers. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, my daughter watches it too.
Something mom or cheerleading mom.
Dance
I don't
mom.
know.
Dance
mom. There
Dance
you go.
mom. Yeah, my daughter
I don't know what
watches that
Cuties is about, but it seemed like it's in the vein of dance moms. I don't know.
I don't know, but they they already apologized just for the inappropriate artwork. They said it was not okay and, updated things. So if they have a problem with the artwork from the movie, then they probably have a issue with the movie.
Right.
Speaking of which, I gotta
All
go
right.
hug my kids real quick before they leave for school.
All right. Well, I'm Angela Yee, and that's your rumor report.
Yeah, I got my kids up out of here. All right, shout to Revolt. We'll see you later. Everybody else, the People's Choice Mix is up next. Get your request in, and it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.